Your people-pleasing habit is the number one thing standing between you right now and the life that you actually want to live. Today, we're talking about breaking up with your exhausting, old, archaic habit of people-pleasing. And I know specifically for Black women that we are often celebrated and honored and revered when we are martyred, when we put other people first, when we put ourselves last, when we overgive and overdeliver and self-sacrifice and suffer so that other people will say, oh, she did everything for everybody else. She never complained. She always gave and didn't take. She was such a generous person. She never asked for anything. That sounds like a miserable existence because more often than not, that affects our mental health, our physical health, our emotional health and well-being, because we look around when it's our time of need for someone to have our backs, and more often than not, we're looking around alone. Hello, friend. Welcome. My name is Elle, also known as the Empress of Ease, and I help ambitious women create the lives that they desire by centering ease instead of exhaustion. I am also the creator of the House of Ease, and I'm very, very happy that you are here. We have entered often into this transactional dynamic where if I suffer, if I sacrifice, if I make myself small, if I don't ask for what I need, if I hope that you get the hints and read between the lines and figure it out because of all of my giving and generosity, then eventually you'll come and help me. How often has that actually worked? What I want to offer you, my friend, is that you have full permission and are completely entitled to center yourself in your own life, to put yourself first in your own life, to say yes to yourself first, because quiet as it's kept, people pleasing is overrated. It's actually never going to give you the desires of your heart. People pleasing is a tool, is a mechanism that has been successfully used to keep us women small, docile, malleable, and controllable because we are often terrified and afraid that if we ask for what we need, if we say no, if we have healthy boundaries, if we walk away, that we'll be unloved, abandoned, and alone. And more often than not, we are willing to settle for crumbs. We are willing to settle for small. We are willing to settle for less than just so that we can say we have a man, we have a relationship, we have some kind of family dynamic, but we do not trust ourselves enough to not be people pleasers. As much as there are all this messaging about being empowered and using your voice and speaking your truth, the quiet as it's kept truth is that women who have never had imposter complex and have never been people pleasers and have always been self and soul led can invoke a lot of competition and jealousy because it's often rewarded and celebrated to be in the process of recovering from people pleasing. But when you actually have never been a people pleaser and have always been confident on your own terms and stood on your own 2 feet, people don't always appreciate and value that. I have never been a people pleaser. That is not something that I have ever had to figure out or overcome. So I can understand theoretically the value of staying in a safe haven of people pleasing. But who is safe? Are you actually safe? No, you're actually staying in transactional relationships that don't fully see you, that don't fully appreciate, but that feel safe because you're not rocking the boat or having boundaries or asserting yourself or taking care of yourself or asking for what you need. But how does that actually feel? How does that actually work for you? On August 18th, 2025, at 10:30 a.m. in the South Boston YMCA, a 72-year-old Black woman named Maria Spooner was accosted in a group fitness exercise class because she refused to give up her seat.
Hello, Facebook family and friends. They are again trying to make me move out of my spot, and I got here first. This is the second time that they have tried to get me to move, and I have told them that I am not moving. I got here first. Now this man is telling me I'm going to move, but he's not going to tell this lady to move.
No,
She got here. She got here after I got here.
not a clause.
And I got here before she did. So this lady put her face in my face the last time I was here, this lady right here. And that's Rona is. There Rona is. And so you can't move over 2 feet. I am not moving over 2 feet. Guarantee you, Rona will not start this class. Well, then if she don't start the class, then we're not going to move. Okay, then. And Rhoda will not have this Caucasian lady to move over, but want me to move over, and I am not moving over. So that is the case. So this lady wants to know, where is my kindness for me to slide over? Why don't she ask this woman to slide over? I can't, woman. I'll be out of the. But all she's got to do is move her seat over to the opposite side, to the left side of me. I'm not moving. You can sit there. And I said that before. I don't give a shit. So now she's cussing. Shit's not cuss. Now she's cussing. Is it really that important? Yes, see these Karens. See, these Karens always want to have their way. And because we do not allow them to have their way, then we are in the wrong. So for me, Facebook family and friends, it is the principal thing. I got here first and I am not moving. And that was what I said the last time when I was here. They are not going to make me move. They are not going to make me move.
Doesn't this sound very much like when Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat in Montgomery, Alabama on December 1st, 1955, when Mrs. Spooner was only 2 years old? Fast forwarded to 1825, different city, different location, same exact racist situation. But now we've got Black people enrolled and participating in the shenanigans.
This is Jordan. So now they bring the Black guy in to make me move. What's wrong, baby? And now they're bringing the Black people here to make me move. Will everyone please get out of my face? I'm not doing anything. I was going to ask you what's wrong. Listen to Jordan. Yeah, I was going to ask you what's wrong. I just keep hitting. Now Jordan is asking me what is wrong. This Caucasian lady wants me to move, and she will not move over this side, but she wants me to slide over. Why can't she slide over? Okay. So Rona she's been sitting, this Caucasian lady has been sitting here for years, and I don't care if she's been sitting here for 50 million years. Ma'am. I don't care if this lady been sitting here for 50 million years. I'm not moving.
No one has reserved spot. The only woman or the only individual who has a reserved spot is the instructor herself. The only person who has a reserved spot is the instructor. Everyone else has a responsibility to reserve their spots and to be where they're at and to have the amount of people that we're supposed to have for the class. So what you're only doing is just derailing everyone else's time. So either you can stay here in a designated area, or you can just wait for another class to where you don't have to worry about this situation. The only person who has a reserved spot is an instructor herself. If we have any issues about it, you're going to stay in a designated area, or you can wait for the next class.
So you heard Jordan said the only person in here that has a designated spot is Rona.
She was in a first come, first serve seating situation in an exercise class at the YMCA. And a white woman who came in after her wanted her seat. And Maria refused to give up her seat. It's a first come, first serve class. She was there first, and a white woman came in and refused to move. This is Zion. He's going to stick his head up so you can see him, but he might pop in and out of our video. And a white woman refused to move out of her seat and instead scooted her seat closer to Maria. Now, the YMCA, the teacher, brought in the manager who kept asking Ms. Spooner to move. Standing on principle, she refused to move because she was following the rules. So then a young man who's a Black man came in to the class. He had nothing to do with the class. He wasn't a teacher. I guess they were trying to get an ally. Came in and tried to explain to Mrs. Spooner the rules. And he said, yes, this is a first come, first serve class, but still asked her to move and then told her to call the white woman who was refusing to move, who was actually causing all the ruckus, who stuck her tongue out at Mrs. Spooner.
Why won't they have her to slide over?
I understand your frustration.
Look at her. And I'm not sliding over.
Yeah.
This young Black man told this elder Black woman to call this other white woman ma'am. In 2025, he told his elder to call this other white woman ma'am.
I've
Seeing your frustration. Understand.
For one thing, I am not frustrated, so please do not put that on me.
Well, I do understand.
I
your
got here
concern.
first, and I'm not moved to. I don't have a concern. You're trying to put words into my mouth, and I am not
So
concerned.
what do you want us to direct it as?
I want you to tell this Caucasian lady to
She
move.
has a name, just like how you have a name.
I don't know her name.
Okay, so just address her as ma'am. So it has
Oh,
nothing to do with race because
So now I'm supposed to address this lady as ma'am.
yeah.
Insane. Now, could she have just said, it's not a big deal. Of course I'll scoot over. Yes. Was that what was expected of her? Yes. Was she in the wrong? Absolutely not. Was she in the right for holding her ground? Absolutely yes. Was she a people pleaser? No. Then the YMCA of South Boston called in the police and threatened her with trespassing, which is why she ended up getting up out of that seat and leaving the exercise class.
Call 911. Now they're going to call 911. That's the police. So let them call 911. They're getting ready to call the police.
Ma'am, you do realize you had this issue evaluated because of how you.
And so now they're talking about calling the police on me. How about that? All right, Facebook, I want you to know that they are talking about calling the police because they want this Caucasian lady that's sitting beside me
referring to my race.
wants me to move.
It has nothing to do with race. Nothing to do with race at all.
Now, I stand 10 toes down with Mrs. Spooner. Of course I do. But I can only imagine, because even in watching this story unfold on TikTok, because she was recording it live, watching this story unfold on TikTok, my nervous system got anxious and agitated. My nervous system got overstimulated. I can only imagine what this 72-year-old woman who was born in 1953, I can only imagine what she has seen and lived through and experienced in her body throughout all of these years in the United States. She's lived through civil rights, Jim Crow, and so much more. But she said, I ain't moving. Again, this is a YMCA exercise class. First come, first serve. The other white woman who was the one actually causing the ruckus is the one who they were protecting. Now, Mrs. Spooner could have been a people pleaser. She could have been acquiescing and accommodating and letting them just push her around. But she said, on principle, it's the principality of it all.
It's principalities in this.
I ain't moving. And that I support and that I respect. But of course, you know, people are trying to drag her from here to there on social media. The people at the YMCA were trying to drag her from here to there. So I want to remind you that not being a people pleaser, retiring from people pleasing, divesting from people pleasing, never being a people pleaser is not always going to be the popular route. It is not always going to get you a standing ovation. There are very, very few times in the United States of America as Black people, we are celebrated, recognized, honored, and revered for not being people pleasers unless it's commercially acceptable and transformed into some kind of commodity. We've seen that in music, we've seen that in actors. But when we're actually living our day-to-day lives and have boundaries and have needs and assert ourselves and speak up for ourselves, that is when we get a bad reputation. And I dare say, do it anyway. It definitely connects to Black women who refuse to be people pleasers, who refuse to shrink, who refuse to apologize, and who stand their ground and are still berated, who are still accosted, who are still harassed because a white woman wants what we have. We could unpack this on so many different levels, but today we're talking about why people pleasing is never going to be the rescuer that you think it's going to be. You have to stand up for yourself if you want to create the life that you actually want to live. I want to remind you that people pleasing is blocking everything that you actually desire. It's blocking your freedom of choice, your freedom of adventure. It's blocking your money. It's blocking your blessings. It's blocking your bounty because people pleasing is rooted in fear. It's rooted in an idea that if you stay small and take care of everyone else, eventually it will come back to you. But that's not how it works. When you become your own priority first, when you take care of yourself first, when you center yourself first, you can give from your overflow because your chalice is overflowing. Your bounty is overflowing. When you give to everyone else first and hope that they have enough left over to give to you, love, attention, intention, joy, money, whatever it is, it's not fair to you. No more excuses, no more justification, no more rationale. The moment you decide to stop people pleasing, to stop putting other people in front of yourself, to stop making yourself second best, to stop settling for last or collateral damage or life and joy and fulfillment in the hereafter, the moment you decide that you get to enjoy your life here and now, and that you come first, is the moment that you actually can start to live the life that you dream of. This may not always be the popular approach. You may not always be celebrated and revered because women who go against the grain, who put themselves first, who ask for what they need, who demand and command respect, are not always actually respected, especially if they are Black women, because the sense of peace, the sense of worthiness, the sense of self-trust, the sense of self-love is going to be more rewarding than all people's craziness and insanity on the side. Because at the end of the day, you can only create the life that you want when you stop people pleasing. You can only create the life that you want when you stop taking care of other people first. You can only create the life that you want by putting yourself first without apology or compromise or self-sacrifice. The struggle is not real. You deserve the best in life, and the way that you're going to live the best in life is by putting yourself first. And Mrs. Maria Spooner, born in 1953, perfect example of honoring yourself, putting yourself first, standing up for yourself, and trusting yourself and your truth regardless of the insanity and the shenanigans going around it. It's not always an easy road. You're not always going to get celebrated and rewarded for it. So if you want support, understanding and living your truth and breaking up from being a people pleaser, check out my alignment hour below. And if you want a deeper dive into working with me, check out the Success Reset 3-month coaching program. It's a one-on-one 3-month coaching program with me where we recalibrate and really retrain your whole self so that you can divest from people pleasing and create the life that you want from a place of ease and alignment instead of exhaustion and overwork and people pleasing, because that ain't what you want or who you actually are. Check out this video right here if you want to go deeper into this rabbit hole. When I ask the question, am I entitled? Because to some people, everything I just said to you sounds very entitled. So check out my perspective on whether I think I am actually entitled or not, and I will see you there. Thank you. Bye for now.